Yeah, what's good? It's your boy King Haas. I'm direct. You now tune into another episode of WHCR 90.3 FM in late night New York. Shout out to Angela, the station manager. Shout out to Kazai. Shout out to Paparazzi TV that's filming. Once again, we done took y'all to many different places. So now we going to take y'all somewhere different. Some place that we haven't been to on the show. We going to take y'all to Corrections. Rikers Island to be exact. Now, there's a lot of stereotypes that you see on TV and out on the internet about correctional officers and certain things that happen or allegedly happens or what have you, which at the end of the day, most of us, majority of people never been to jail or prison, so the ones that never been in jail or prison can't tell you one way or another what's going on. They just going off a second or third party or what have you. So we've had one side, so now we getting the other side from the CEO side of things. So I got Brother Malik here.
Yes. Good evening, brother.
Good
glad
evening,
to be
brother.
here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes. So my understanding is that you just retired?
Yes. I have retired. I did 20 years.
Copy.
It's a blessing.
Yes, sir.
And just trying to give a different perspective and bring a different narrative of what people think of the job.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to bring more of that positive message to it, and
a positive message to the youth as well.
Yes, because I'm trying to even convince a lot of young people, because we need a lot of strong brothers and sisters to take the job, because there are great benefits to it.
Copy. Now, you from the city, I'm assuming, right? Of course.
Oh, born and raised. Bronx, New York, Soundview houses in the Bronx.
Copy.
Families from Harlem.
Yes, sir. So you know the town inside and out.
Yes, we know the town inside and out.
So now, the perspective of, your era would be the 80s, the 90s, so like growing up, whatever, would it be the 80s, the 90s? I don't want to say, I'm not trying to state your age.
No. I totally get it. Nah, I'm 53, brother.
Okay.
53. Right. I was born and raised Soundview houses.
Okay.
I could remember from the beginning times of hip hop. We could talk about that.
All right. Beautiful.
Yes.
The experience of growing up in Soundview houses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's another stereotype that people have. Because we touch on stereotypes.
Yes.
A lot of people think that just because you're from the projects, it means that you a drug dealer, or you a fiend, or you done shot somebody, or all type of stuff. And people don't realize that the majority of people that are from the projects are working people that's trying to bust their behinds to make lives better for their children. So how was that experience growing up in Soundview?
Soundview was family. If I could put it in a nutshell, it was family. We all knew each other. Even though we was in a building, a lot of us didn't feel like we was, quote unquote, the hood or the ghetto. We lived in actually what we call, like some people would say, a hood. I would say we lived in a neighborhood.
Community.
It was a community. Like for example, where I lived in Soundview, my grandmother lived on the first floor. And then we had my godfather, he lived on the third floor. And everybody knew each other, and everybody been in that one building for years. Like we moved, like my grandmother moved in Soundview with my mother back in like the mid-50s.
Okay, so
so way before I was born.
Yeah, tied in. Your family was already tied in.
Yeah, from Harlem. Yes, from Harlem. My grandmother lived on 130th and Lenox in Harlem. She was in a wheelchair, and she had a accident in the hospital where she became paralyzed from the
God bless her.
But she was a strong woman, and matter of fact, in Harlem, one of the first families in that building to have a TV. So
and for you young kids, that was something that was a big experience back in the day.
Yes, it definitely was back in the days.
So we didn't have cable, and stuff like that. That didn't come till later on.
you know. And after that, she moved to Soundview due to the fact where it was more wheelchair accessible. So he was in there, and the experience in Soundview was great, man. I mean, you had the drug dealers, you had your robbers, you had to say, but there was a level of respect. Not trying to say that it was good. Not trying to say it's good now to be drug dealer, but there was a level of respect. Like when the elderly came to the buildings. All right, let's move out the way, Miss So-and-so. How you doing, Miss So-and-so? Move out the way. You need any help with your bags? It was really respectful.
There's an unwritten understanding.
Yes, an unwritten understanding. And even on the corners where the drug dealers was, yo, y'all can't be here. What are y'all doing here? Get off the block. Get off the name. Get off the block.
So you come from that era where the guys that was doing wrong, when they seen the younger guys like y'all coming up or whatever, especially if they felt that y'all had bright futures, they ain't allow y'all to participate in the street activity.
Yes, and also they protected the neighborhood. They protected the neighborhood, and that's
now when you say protect the neighborhood, I understand what you're saying, but you got a certain segment of people that's listening and watching that might not be able to grasp what you're saying. So break that down when you mean protect the neighborhood.
When I say they protect the neighborhood, they was more of they just made sure the people from the neighborhood was safe. Even though, like I said, was it wrong? Yes, it's wrongdoing. They were selling drugs, but also they understood there was a respect level in the neighborhood.
Outsiders just couldn't come and do any old thing.
Outsiders couldn't come and do their own thing. But also, I'll give you an example. Say you were outsider, but if you my people, then you was family.
Exactly.
Like, look, it's my people right here. They be like, okay, he your people, then he people, and that's how it was extended family. And that's how we did. And also that's how I also fell in love with hip hop back then. I fell in love with hip hop like 7 years old.
So, okay, let's get into that experience because it all ties in.
Yes, it all ties in.
Now, I had DJ Robbie Rob on here talking about hip hop history.
Yes.
So, in the Bronx, there's different neighborhoods and different guys that come out of different neighborhoods when it comes to hip hop.
Yes.
So, in that era, who was the guy or group of individuals that came out that neighborhood?
Okay.
That whether it don't matter whether people know or not.
Yeah. Okay. I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, everybody says, Kool Herc was the father of hip hop. I always say Kool Herc is one of the fathers of hip hop.
All right.
My superhero back then was Disco King Mario.
That's the name I've been hearing a lot lately.
Disco King Mario. And the reason why I say that is my godfather, his name is MC Sundance. He was Disco King Mario MC.
All right.
So he was Disco King Mario MC. God bless, because he's not with us right now. And both of them, Disco King Mario and MC Sundance. And also, here's a little story I could tell you. It was MC Sundance that brought Jazzy J to Disco King Mario, and Jazzy J became his DJ.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because Sundance and Jazzy J was real tight. Because Jazzy used to always come to Soundview because his cousin lived in the building behind us. Because Soundview, the way the buildings were and the way they are, say one part of the building will be one address, and then if you go around the corner, it'll be the same building, but it'll be a different address.
Yeah.
So his cousin,
here's tricky.
Right. So here's the funny part. Here's the connection. Now his cousin lived in the building behind us, and his cousin was a correction officer. He wound up retiring years later because he's one of my OGs.
Okay.
So Jazzy used to always be in Soundview, and it was my godfather, MC Sundance, who also told Mario about Jazzy, and he brought him to him, and Jazzy wound up becoming his DJ to the point where he became his DJ. And then when I know everybody talks about, Africa Bambaataa, he went to Africa, came back and told Disco King Mario about the Zulu Nation. And then actually it's in Wikipedia, if y'all look it up, it's Africa Bambaataa who actually used Mario's equipment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a true story. And it was mostly everybody who left Mario, they wound up going with Bam. It was Sundance, his brother Master Ice, Master B, Jazzy, all of them wound up going to Africa Bambaataa, and that was the creation of the Zulu Nation and the original Soul Sonic Force.
And what year was that?
Because these stories Sundance used to tell me 76, 77, 70, like 75, 76.
I know you know what you're talking about because it's like 5 or 6 different other brothers that have said the same thing. Because I'm actually working on the actual documentary right now.
Yes.
So it's funny how you're saying this because all the stuff, what you talking about is actually what's happening, what's going on, or what have you.
Well, these are the stories that I was learned and I was told from the people that was actually there. He would tell me these stories because I used to just sit with him, and he would tell me all these stories. And also he broke down. That's how I knew about the Soul Sonic Force, because people don't know the Soul Sonic Force originally had 8 MCs. Mm-hmm. It was 8 MCs on the Soul Sonic Force. It was Sundance, Master Ice, Master B, Lisa Lee, Hutch Hutch. Who else? Hutch Hutch. If I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to think. I can't remember. That's 5 right there. Mm-hmm. But it was actually 8.
8 at first.
Biggs, Mr. Biggs.
Powwow.
Yeah,
shout out to Powwow.
And then Globe. I think Globe came a little later.
Copy.
Yeah. So that was the original Soul Sonic Force, 8 MCs. So what happened was, it was so many MCs, they wasn't making enough money. So they broke those 8 MCs into 3 groups. The 3 groups that they broke it down was the Soul Sonic Force that y'all hear, Planet Rock. Mm-hmm. It was the Cosmic Force and the Jazzy 5 MCs.
Wow, okay.
So that's how that broke down.
Yeah, I just got a history lesson.
Yeah.
I just got a dope history
and
lesson.
it goes, I mean, these stories I've been learned, I was told these stories, even the stories of, I mean, I don't want to get too far.
You lived them also.
Yeah, I don't want to get so far off track.
Yeah. No. We only, because it ties into your story.
Yes, it ties into my story.
So it's like so now, okay, we fast forward from the 70s to the 80s.
Yes.
And the neighborhood is changing.
The crack era, yes.
The crack epidemic.
Yes.
So it goes, describe how it is to see that family-oriented vibe get destroyed, and describe how, tie that into your story. Would that make you, and that making you want to go ahead and be a correctional officer?
Okay. Well, to be honest with you, that it was like you saw people that had good working jobs. Once they got that hit, it was over. I saw a lot of that. Yeah. My grandmother was one of the type of people that they always came to her house and always wanted to talk to her. And you see some of these people when they used to work, and then you could see the transition, how they change, and you could tell that they was using. It was hard because you start seeing real people that you was close to, that you love, and also the 80s. A lot of people was getting money. A lot of people was getting money. It got to a point where, in the project, almost everybody was hustling. And it wasn't like people was being peer pressured. It wasn't that at all. It's just that it was the atmosphere, and everybody was doing it. And for some of us who was young, we didn't see the negative aspect of it. We only saw the good part of it.
Yeah, the money. You're in the moment.
Right. The money. Drive your little car. Want to talk to your nice little, girlfriend. Want to, flaunt your little money and stuff like that. So that's what it was. So, actually, to coincide with me wanting to be a correction officer, I actually was working in the school. I was doing security in the school.
All right.
And my godfather, he was trying to make a comeback with the music. And, stuff wasn't going too well. And I had a daughter at the time. And my daughter was getting older. I was making okay money, but I wanted to make more. And the only way I saw it at that time, since I was already in law enforcement, was either be a correction officer or a police officer.
Right.
So what I did, I took both tests. So when I took both tests, it just so happened the correction department called me first.
All right. Cool. No. So whoever hit you first, that's what you're going to get.
That's how it was going down.
Now, let me ask you this question from the street perspective.
Yes.
Because, you grew up with a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
You see these guys every day.
Yeah.
So when they find out that you're a CEO, are they coming at you differently? Are they treating you different? Is the energy different?
You know what? Most of the OGs, that's how I became a correction officer, because a lot of the OGs in the project, some of them left that street well, and they just so happened lucky enough not to get locked up. Some of them became CEOs and had jobs.
Fact.
And it was the OGs that was telling me, yo, you need to get on this job.
You know what's crazy? It's funny how you say that, because not trying to deviate from the point.
No. I hear you.
True story. Well, lie.
Yes.
I know about 3 or 4 guys in particular.
Yeah.
Who was, at one time they was getting it. But they never had no felonies. They never got jammed up. And so-and-so, see, he. I don't believe that until you see him like, oh wow, okay. He's like, yeah, man, I ain't got no felonies, man. Streets is dead. I'm gonna go get this job.
And at first, when I used to get told about it, I used to be like, I'm trying to do the music with my girlfriend. I don't want to be no police. I ain't trying to get with that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you see them. They moving out. They moving Staten Island. Got houses. Done moved out of state. You like, get money like that? That's what we doing on that's what it does?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe I'll, think about it. But what really drawed me to it, my daughter wanted to go to college.
All right. And you wanted to make sure
I wanted to make sure she was good.
She was secure.
And this is what I knew this was going to be a good way to help her.
All right, so let me ask you. All right, so let's get into now. Actually, now we'll save that for later.
Okay, no problem.
Now, what we're gonna do now is your first day. Like you go through training, you go through all this other stuff.
Yes.
But then it's different than actually your first day experience.
Yes.
Did you go straight to Rikers Island, or did you?
No, we all went straight to Rikers Island.
Straight to
Rikers Island.
So your first day, where did they have you?
My first jail was C-74. How y'all talk about the adolescents and everybody talks about it. But And
what year was this?
2004.
Oh yeah, he was going.
2004.
He was going through some stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? It was. Was it culture shock? In a way, it was, because you know why? I wasn't afraid of what would happen to me, but you're afraid of the unknown, because it is jail.
Yeah.
And but for me, I took what some of the OGs was telling me about the job, so I brought that to the job, and then all of a sudden you start seeing some people that you knew. It was like, you work here? They was like, yo, when you started? I'm like, yeah, I'm new, and I was one of the few lucky officers that a lot of the senior officers, come on, you coming with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This
They
is what you going to do.
They schooled you the game.
This is how you going to do the job.
Yeah,
this is what you do. You know?
So you was more prepared than the average person.
I was prepared, but I also was receptive to it. So when they told me to do this, I did that. It wasn't like, oh, I already know. No. Right. I was listening, and I absorbed it.
Copy.
I took it, and put it to use for me in my own unique way. Because everybody has a unique way of doing their job.
So let's paint the picture.
Yes.
What was, not the C-74, what was the island like 2004 in general?
The island was 2004.
Describe the atmosphere, the environment.
Oh, it was real. But here's the thing. It was real in there, but the officers was together. We looked out for each other, and that's what I learned. And then, you know what, for me, I brought that with me because that's where I came. I come from that, where I came from. Soundview, that's what we did. We looked out for each other. So to me, I was like, oh, I'm home. They looking out for me. They looking out. This is what they doing. Yeah. I mean, it'll be times where, because, you young, you ready to go in whenever, if something was to go down, you ready to go. Senior officers like, hold up. You on probation. Go fall back. We got this. We'll get written up. If anything goes down, we'll just get a write-up. You could get fired. Go back to your area.
Yeah, fall back.
I'm like, at first I'm like, nah, I'm trying to get on, I'm gonna do my job. But then I had to understand, I get it. They was looking out
They was
for
looking
me.
out for you.
They was looking out for me. So I had a lot of that. I met some great people on the job who just taught me the ins and outs that you're not gonna learn at the academy.
Copy.
And when I say the ins and outs, I'm just saying
That
like
hands-on experience.
the hands-on experience, how you can instead of using these, you could use this. And how you could calm a situation down.
You know what? It's funny how you say that because I ain't never been to Rikers Island, but I've been arrested more than once. And you always had one officer who is rah, and just makes the situation crazy. But then you'll have that one officer that's just knows how to talk to you and de-escalate the situation.
Right.
And communication is a key. So how important is communication?
Yes.
In that situation, especially when you it's a dangerous job that you got.
I would say communication is about.
And when I mean communication, not just amongst your fellow officers, but amongst the inmates as well.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, it's more on them than you. So you got to dialogue and see these brothers and sisters every day.
Yeah. Communication, I say, was like at least 90% of my job. Because we go by a saying, care, custody, and control. We have a lot of officers who understand the custody and control, but they forget about the care part. Because even though I was on that job and I had to watch what was going on, I also had to protect. And I had to make sure one brother didn't get jumped by another. I had to make sure he was safe, because when my mindset of coming on the job, how if this was my brother, nephew, son, cousin, any family member, how would you want them to be treated? So that's what I brought to the table on my perspective of it.
The reason why I asked that is because, and we was talking off camera. Like I said, I'm talking in general now.
Yes.
This is not told you.
No. I hear what you're saying. Come on, brother. We
there's
flowing.
You got a lot of people that feel like, especially with what happened with the brother Khalid Browder and a bunch of other situations. But I say him because he's the most notable.
It was the most
or whatever. And how certain people get into those positions and abuse their power. And I hear you saying, "Nah, I'm gonna treat you like a human being. I'm not, as long as you respect go both ways." That's what I'm hearing from you, or what have you. So, at the end of the day, or whatever, there's always a small segment. And I don't care in what race or whatever you are, because like let's say black people as a whole, you got certain other races that look at us like all of us go in the dirt.
I get what you're saying.
Because of whatever.
I get
because of what a couple of people doing. But actuality, it's only a small group of people that's doing whatever, and we a beautiful race of people. But if you talk to some outsiders, they might feel otherwise.
Well,
so look like so it's kind of like, okay, I have to say that you got some people that might look at y'all, as correctional officers, like, man, F them, And actuality, some of y'all is solid brothers, but you got these 2 or 3 over here that's messing up for the 100 over there.
Right. Well, I always try to use myself as an example. I'll say this. When I used to come to work, I always made sure I was clean. Dressed, shoes was shine. Clothes, my uniform was always clean. When I came in the building to do my job, I earned my respect. I demanded. When I came in there, I demand my respect. But I also was going to respect them also. I'm going to respect you, but I also demand my respect.
Of course.
But if you need anything, I got you. We going to work with. Here was my thing. I always said I'll see what I could do, because there's sometimes it can't get done. It could be anything, situation, in the building that could be an emergency going on, and sometimes things don't get done. So I just try to explain. If they ask me, yo, officer, I need this, I got you. let me take care of this. If I can't do it, I'm going to ask somebody, and I'll get your answer for you. It was always like that. Always try to do that.
Dope.
You know, I try to be, you know, because like I said, just imagine that was your family member there.
Exactly.
You wouldn't want nobody to treat them all disrespectful or, you know, just like they subhuman. No, we don't do that. Especially if somebody that looks like me.
Exactly.
No. We not doing that. Even anybody, I'm not just saying any human being, but someone who looks like me, I'm definitely going to try to go, you know.
Now, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
You know, time go by on the job, right? And you see more kids younger and younger coming in for violent crimes, right? And you know, you see the dynamic of because you from Soundview, so you understand the street, so you see the dynamic, how you know what's changing or whatever. So you know, as over time, as you see, you know, a new group of young people, young adults coming in, and you see the mindset changing. You know, what goes through your head?
I'm gonna say this. First thing I always say, lack of knowledge. They don't know their history. Because if they knew their history, they wouldn't be in here. And if they knew their history, there's just certain things that they wouldn't do. When they come in, they younger, and you could see that they have a lot of issues going on. You know, and I'm gonna tell you this: when you talk to some of them, intelligent, some of the smartest people that you will meet is in jail. It's just that they made that left when they should have made the right. You know, a lot of and here's the funny part, brother. When you see they families, good people. Families are good people. It's just some are just they just do their own thing. And my motto was always, I know people always say, "Oh, we got to try to help everybody in this," and I said, you know, and it's sad to say sometimes, you can only help who you want to help.
That's a fact.
And I always say, even if you just help one person, maybe that one person can help 20 people. You know, cause and I had to learn another thing that made the job a little easier for me. Some brothers and sisters just don't want it. They don't want the help. They just want to be there.
They're gonna do.
But how I looked at it is, okay, if that's what you want to do, you could do that. But I'm gonna help a brother and a sister that really needs the help. But at the same time, the door ain't gonna be slammed. It's there for you. But now you gotta find your way.
I understand.
You know?
So now it was something that came on the internet recently, right?
Yes.
Guy named Kai Sent, you know, and he did the street, you know, he did the live stream with, you know.
I heard about it.
You heard about it? Yeah, but so a lot of people felt some type of way because they felt like he was glorifying jail or what have you. So, you know, for the young kids, you know what I mean, for the youngins that's watching this or whatever, you know, before we, you know, helling out or whatever.
Yes.
Break down to them what they gonna be dealing with.
Okay.
When they get locked up in that, you know, in that hole.
First thing I'm gonna say, and I'm looking in the camera to tell you, jail is nothing to glorify. I'm telling you, jail is nothing to glorify. The steps that go in, because I also worked in the courts, and to sit in there in a cell with a bunch of people that you don't know, smelling. If they got to go to the bathroom, they got to go to the bathroom right there in front of you. You got to smell, and you got to just the whole atmosphere being there. And sometimes you in there almost 24 hours because the process, just the system is broken.
Yeah.
So it's not like you gonna go in there and you just gonna come out. No,
you gonna be in there for a good time.
There at least 24, 40. It's gonna be there at least 24, 48 hours. You're gonna be in there at least a day or two.
That's a fact.
And if it's the weekend, it's really gonna be in there for a while.
Yeah.
It's real. It's very real in there. Then at the courts, especially at the courts, when you see the judge, a lot of the brothers in there can't even pay their bail. You know, they can't pay bail. Sometimes the bails is like $5,000, $6,000. Some people can't even pay that.
Mm-hmm.
So then if they can't pay that, they going to Rikers Island.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's where you don't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I always used to express that. Find somebody to pay your bill because you don't want to go to Rikers Island because right now the way Rikers Island is just broken. The whole system is broken. And it's something I wanted to say about when you brought up Khalif Browder. And people always look at the correction department and say, like, you know, it was us. He was in jail for a long time. He was in there for a long time. And it's the system. The system is broken because what would happen is he probably was going to court and they was adjourning it. So now if you can't pay your bail, and you have a legal aid. That's why I say the system is broken because even the legal aides are stressed out. They got so many cases they dealing with. So that's why you hear a lot of them say, take a plea. The reason why they say take a plea is because that's another case they finish with. Because I used to see some of them.
They trying to get their case.
Say this is their table, and the packages are like this, the folders are like this high, and they stressed out. You know, so it's like the whole system is just broken. The whole system is broken. All we do as correctional, we just watching them.
That's it.
Waiting for them to go to court. You know, when they come back to go to court, or if they getting ready to go upstate. That's all we do.
Yeah, babysitting basically.
We babysit and we get paid a lot of
money
money for it.
doing it. Yeah.
Get a lot of money for it.
So
you know.
I'm glad you breaking this down.
Yes.
Because people need to understand that, especially the younger people need to understand that. So I'm glad you gave this experience.
Yes.
Because we hear we got to do both sides.
Yeah, you have to do both sides.
What I mean?
Yes.
So before we go,
yes.
You if it's one, we done touched on a lot of different topics, but if it's one main thing that you want to convey to people when it comes to correctional officers and COs, what is it?
We your brothers, we your sisters, we your mothers, we your fathers, and majority of us are here to do a job and take care of our family, and don't think we don't love our people that's in there. We love them. It's hard. I'll tell you, it's hard. But we doing the best they can, and they doing the best they can. So all I ask, just give them their support and just get a better understanding. And just hear their side. Because there's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
A lot of people lose their families. I just lost a brother of mine. One of my CO brothers just passed away not too long ago. Rest in peace, my man Boswell. He passed away. Rest in power. Good brother. But the stress of the job, it takes a toll. So all I just say is just give support, because they need it. They working every day and they need it. And that's the best that's what I could say.
Brother Malik, I appreciate you running because
no problem, brother.
Up here, we like to tell both sides and give every single perspective, man.
Yes.
So we never had that perspective from you. So hopefully that perspective will go ahead and help alleviate certain stereotypes that people might have or have, man. And as other things going on, whatever, we'll have you back up here in the future to give you a perspective because we need to have that understanding. Because we need people like you that's, been through there to go ahead and tell us how to maneuver within that system or what have you.
I understand that. And I want to say thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
I love the set.
Yes, sir.
I want y'all to keep doing. I want the best for you.
I appreciate you.
Definitely want, to keep doing your thing, man.
Angela, my bad. I be forgetting to plug in the station, so please don't kill me. You tune in WHCR 90.3 FM, late night in New York. Brother Malik, King Haas. Y'all see what it is. Shout out to Zone 6. Shout out to Paparazzi TV. We out.